Hey everybody, today is October 6th and it has been quite a while since my last update of the Grow series for 2017. And I trashed half of my plants already after the last harvest because they were looking terrible due to pests and all that stuff. But I still have half of my plants still remaining and they are looking amazing. They're going nuts right now because the temperature is cooling down and pods are just being pumped out like crazy. So we'll start with these new additions that I started recently inside the Arrow Garden. And every season I sort of cheated by using my indoor hydroponic to speed up my crosses. And this is the Starr-Racha Hornet F3. So during the summertime, I harvest a bunch of fruits for the F2. So I immediately started it, and here are the F3. And look at that, we have flowers, and some of them are starting to open, so I'm gonna get fruits very soon. I'm trying to keep this as small as possible because the unit is not very big. So let's see how well it works. I mean, these plants just grow like they're in steroids when they're in the Arrow Garden. And these are some lettuce that I'm working on. But let me show you another one. Okay, here's the other one. This is the brother of the one that you just saw. I actually pulled him out today and placed him on his own inside my tent because there's nothing else going on here and I didn't want to waste the space. So there he is. It's gonna be beautiful in a few weeks because that guy's gonna go like crazy. Here's my setup. I'm actually documenting the process, so I will release the video very soon. But if you're interested in what lights I'm using, here it is right here. That is the Endomax CMH 150. It's about a foot above my plant and I only have one plant right there. So let's go outside and see the rest of them. Okay, here are the rest of the other plants and they are going crazy. New pods are starting to form. I will have some to pick very soon. These are my Bahamian Goat. This is the second production of the season. So previously I picked about 7 fruits. It didn't produce too much, but now it's pushing out more. So my contest plant is looking pretty good. Maybe I'll end up with about 20 or so, or less. I'm still happy about that. And here is my Reaper. This guy is just nuts. Look how big that is. It's all the way over there. So it's a huge canopy. Picked all the fruits off and now flowers are starting to form again. So if our season can go on longer, I may have fruits for this one. And here is one of my Thai crosses. These are super spicy. This is the white Thai cross with my Starr-Racha. And it tastes very nice, smell good, but man, it is spicy. And some of them have tails like that. Look at that. So there it is. There are fruits everywhere. And here is the another Thai, the different kind of Thai crossed with Starr-Racha. Fruit everywhere. Look at this. Some of them look really, really cool. So everywhere you look, there's some fruits. And then this one here, this one is 6 feet tall. This guy here. Look at that. It's like higher than my fence. So you see, let me bring it down so you can see a better view. There are just fruits everywhere. And it's all green, so it's kind of hard to see in video, but they're pumping out fruits like crazy. I think it may be around maybe 100 fruits, maybe. See, to here. There are a lot of them. Okay, and then my Starburst is coming back with new fruits again. Look at that. This is one of my favorite cross of the season. It's a very beautiful cross. I did a review on it, so you guys can check it out. I'll link you. But yeah, they're pumping out pods again. These are volunteer white Thai. I'm just leaving it there because it's growing nicely. And here is the prize plant of the season. This is another of my F3 Starr-Racha. And I have fruits. Look at that. These are the shapes that I like. So this is the F3. So there's a few more. Let me show it to you. Look at, I think some of them. And some of them have really nice looking tail. Look at this. This is exactly the shape that I want. Kind of like a bonnet shape with a stinger. That's what I like. So just 2 fruits that I can see so far, but they're flowers that are forming. But I only need 2. I don't need too many for this. Okay, and then here's another of my white tie crossed with the Starr-Racha. It's doing okay. Has a lot of problem with pests. Man, I hate these mites. They're just a pain. And this guy here, my brother gave it to me. You see this? They grow in clusters, like lots and lots of fruit for a very small plant. And early in the season, this guy was just infested with mites. I treated it with neem oil, and then every 3 days I repeat and then kill them all off, and now the plant is making its way back and producing nicely. And you see down here, these are my Starr-Racha F2 clones. Those are clones that I just plug into the soil after they root it, and then they're producing fruits. And here is the Starr-Racha, the other ones, the one that produced the fruits that look the prettiest. So let me show you one. Look at this one. You see that? Nice little cool stinger, round shape like a bonnet, smooth skin. That's what I like. And so more and more of the small fruits here. And some of them look pretty crazy. Look at this one. See that? Crazy stinger. Okay, so those are a few. Let's move on to the next one. And this is the largest Starr-Racha that I just chopped down completely. And now it's nothing but a few branches left. But that one was one of the biggest plants that I have. And here is the beautiful linzo pepper. I just did a review recently. Let me show you some fruits. They're everywhere. See there? There's one here. Some over there. Some are starting to ripen up. There are more. So I'm trying to collect a bunch of seeds for this so I can give it out. But this plant just doesn't produce pods that have too many seeds, so it's gonna be a challenge. Alright, and here is which one is this? This one is the Scarlet Rose. That's what I call it because it is very, very pretty, and it turns really bright red. And see, it look like this right here. And when it turns red, it looks like a rose. So that's why I call it the Scarlet Rose. That is an F3. So more fruits here. Like this is a pretty one right here. Okay, next is my white tie, favorite of mine. It just pump out pods all season long. I mean, I just can't eat enough of this. They just produce so much. So I pick bags of this and I just give them all away. See, some of these are turning red already. So when it turned red on the vine, it becomes sweeter. And then if you leave it too long, it starts to shrivel up. And those are basically only good for seed saving. Okay, a few more here, and these are looking horrible because I am testing these. I left them in the sun. I mean, they're beat down by the Texas heat, so they don't do too well. So there's a few pods there, but the leaves are all dropping. This one as well. And then mites came and also destroyed some, so that is even worse. And then this white tie here, I left it in the rain, and it basically almost drowned because the bucket was full of water. I didn't have an overflow hole for this one because I forgot. I usually move it during the rain, but I went out of town and it came back and it was like dead. It was a huge plant, so I cut it all back and then got rid of the water, and then it's alive again. So look at that. Oh, look at all those fruits on a tiny plant. I just chopped the entire plant off. This thing is just such an amazing variety. I love those. Okay, Trinidad Scorpion here, looking terrible. And let me show you something really cool. Here is a graft of the Borg 9, and I may have some fruit for it. Look at that. The Borg 9 is like a bubblegum type, and the Trinidad Scorpion is just the regular scorpion right there. So there's two varieties on this. Look at this one, looking so strange. And I propagated a bunch of this, so let me show you that. Okay, here it is, the propagated scorpion. I took branches off of that tree that I just showed you, and then I rooted it, and once it rooted, I threw it in here and it grew. So there's one back there. So there's, I think I did two plants in here, 2 propagations. And then let me show you a really cool one. This is a cracky method, and it's a 1 gallon, and it's growing the ahi tangerine that Susan gave me seeds for. Look at the shape of this. This is not the preferred shape that she likes, but it's cool to have fruits for this regardless. So I put it there because it's so hot here, and the basil, look at all these basil. These are once, all of these here were once propagated branches this big. So now look at this. It's like a jungle of basil over there too. But anyway, the plant is sitting there because the basil provide a little shade for it. And then I have a purple ghost or black ghost or whatever, but it came off as a volunteer, so I just left it here. Here's a fruit, purple, black, and there's a few more, but these guys are not doing anything at all. It's being shaded, blocked by the basil. And some more volunteer here. These are white Thai. You see there's fruits back there. Those guys they're so easy to grow. I mean, you just throw seeds and they grow. So you have pods all season long. Okay, here is another of my propagated plant, and this is the pumpkin habanero, and this is perfect timing because Halloween is right around the corner. So let me show you some of them. See there? Some of the fruits look like a pumpkin, some looks rounder, but the pumpkin shape is what I prefer. So when they turn orange, they look just like a pumpkin, a tiny pumpkin. So I'm having a ton of fruit, and I did a few reviews on this, and people just go nuts with this. So everyone's asking me for seeds, so I will have some seeds very soon. So there it is there, another one back there. Okay, and here is a Jay's Red Ghost. Man, this thing is wicked. Look at this. You see those tails? Crazy tails. And some of them are ready right there. I haven't picked it up yet, but it's cooler now, so they're producing like crazy. Early in the season, all the buds just dropped because it was so hot. And here's another one that grows in the clusters that my brother gave me, and easy to maintain. I just threw the seeds in here, and look at this, lots and lots of peppers. I think these are either some said it might be the Medusa plant. I don't know. I think my parents call these the gaze to heaven or something like that because it points up like that. Alright guys, I just wanted to show off a little bit, and here is one of the beautiful melon. This is called the king of melon in China, and that is a honey kiss melon. It's pretty big and very nice. So look at how golden and ready it looks. I don't even know when to pick it because this is the first time I'm growing this, so I think it's ready, but I'll just leave it some more because I want it as sweet as possible. And then there's a few that not so good looking, but still they're there. A few on the other side. Alright, And here is my Thai hybrid. Man, these guys are just pumping out pods all over the place. I don't even take care of this plant. It just produces very nice pods that are quite large. They taste a little bit different than the regular Thai. They're spicier, the walls are thicker. And then I have some volunteer in there. I have no idea what they are. These are great volunteer. They're tasty. They're like orange hab that is like toned down with no heat. I mean little heat. Okay, next up is my prize plant for the season. This is the Texas Crimson Bonnet. Look at this. This plant is massive. It's bigger than my lime tree. See that? And now that the weather is cool, look at this. Fruits everywhere. Look at, man, I'm just proud of this. Look at this. I mean, all you see are red, but there's a lot of green ones too. And then younger ones are forming. They're just a ton of fruits. See that? So I'm gonna have a lot of fruits to pick. And of course, I already saved seeds for this, so these are just gonna be for use. I usually pick the first season fruits when they produce the very first time, because those usually look the best. Okay, and then in here I have some orange habanero right there. Pretty cool looking plants, nice looking shapes. Some more here. So that's one of the volunteer also. Okay, and then I have this hydroponic DWC method, and this is another of the ahi tangerine that Susan gave me seeds for, and this is the exact shape that she likes, so seeds will go back to her. This is an F2. Look at this. This plant is so small, but it produced a ton of fruit. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then more on the way on a tiny plant. Okay, and then last but not least, my beautiful bonsai Thai plant right here that I created. And this guy is still pumping out pods. It's very small inside a little container, sitting right on my raised bed, looking nice, beautiful, lots of good fruits for me to use. But anyway, that is all I have left for this season. So this may be the last video of the season as well, but I'll see what I'm gonna do. I might chop some of these plants down and then graft it and then take one inside, so that I'll have one plant that has all of the different varieties on it. Anyway guys, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it below.